Hello and welcome to the teams here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. It is Friday the 28th of June 2024. We are coming to you ahead of round 16, Carlton, Richmond. We have the extended teams. We don't have the final teams. We're going to get them in about an hour. But before that, we're going to hang out a little bit, talk amongst ourselves as we usually do. Teams has become a little bit more of a hangout than what it is the actual teams, but I'm enjoying it nonetheless. Happy Friday to those of you who are tuning in. I'm going to assume that this is the end of the day for most of you. Otherwise, it is the end of the week. Who have we got here? Hey, Kate. You heard Chera is playing a Motlop, isn't yet? Yeah, I feel like it's going to be pretty straightforward once we get to 5 p.m. So it's a public holiday today. Okay, check Monday. All right, check Monday. If it hasn't come by Monday, I'm going to send it again. Naomi, I saw that. Yes, I've just got it here. You know what? I'm going to print your BA pin and I'm going to put it in the envelope right now. Thank you very much for that. Hang on a minute. Naomi, got it ready for you. So you got the stubby holder and the t-shirt. Awesome. Thank you very much. I'll have that to you in no time. Who else have we got here? Rowan, Richard, Marcos, Carls. Hello. Good to see you. How you doing? Where's Naomi? I've got Chris Lang. Chills is here. Hey, Chills. Hope you're well, mate. Aiden, what's up, man? SG, Lufalino, up and about. Naomi, that's yours. I'm not going to lick the envelope. I'm just going to do it a little later, but that'll be on the way. Thanks so much for making the purchase. If anybody else wants to take a look in the BA shop, I've got the link pinned to the top of the live chat. Got so many items there. I just added a clear phone case as well for some of the iPhones. But anyway, let's get back to the footy. Hey, Paul, Matt, good to see you. The AirPods case, are they only for iPods? Yes. So the Apple iPods and the iPod Pro. Yeah. I wouldn't mind. I tell you what, I wouldn't mind having a little press conference, but they haven't got one. Oh my God. There's news. I think Elijah Hollins is re-signed. We got two pieces of news. Firstly, Hudson O'Keefe has signed a contract extension. And secondly, I'm just seeing now Elijah Hollins has re-signed or signed a contract extension because he was out of contract. So that's great news. That's great news all around. Oh, we have a press conference as well. Guys, don't worry. It's all happening. Let me get this one up for you. Stand by for a minute. Okay. BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. All right. I'm going to get the press conference up. We're going to listen to it. But great news on Elijah. That's fantastic. I don't know. I've only seen, I don't know how long it is just yet. I've just seen like a video on Twitter that they just posted, like a creative video. So the article should come out any minute. Oh, have you seen this? Aiden, mate, I wouldn't do that to you. Come on. Come on. All right. Give me a moment. Let's watch the presser. Big shout out to Up the Baggers on Twitter for putting this up. It just makes it easier because I can pause at the same time. If the questions are not loud enough, I'll speak them out to you. But let's have a look.
What do you want us to ask you about? Nothing.
What's going on?
Well, Michael, you're flying at the moment. What do you want us to ask you
about? Nothing.
Hang on a minute. What is going on there? Sorry, guys. Let me just see what's happening. Unless that is the press conference and they've just got like a static image. Videos. The video pops in later. Oh, okay. All right. I'll just back you in on that. Let's do it.
I'm happy to walk out of here in 15 seconds if you like. So, no, we keep it low key here at Carlton. You should know that. So,
a pretty different circumstance from this time last year. You're flying, and last year you had to make that big run to finals. It must be in a pleasing position this time around.
It is.
Just asked him about the difference between this year and last year and how we're flying, or get nervous when people put too much praise on us. But yeah,
same time having the same approach about living on the edge, and that's what performance does to you. Is that despite what's happened before, you've still got another opponent to play against, and you've got to still play with the same edge. So yeah, circumstances a lot different, but hopefully a similar approach.
How's Adam Shearer going?
He'll play. So I guess the follow-up question is, who makes
he'll play? There it is.
Way for him. So we might wait a little bit longer for that, but certainly Adam's put a fair bit of work in over the last 7 or 8 weeks, and we probably held that a little longer than what we needed to, obviously to try and get a couple extra sessions under his belt. The fact that we're able to probably win a couple of games helps you be a little more patient when it comes to that, but he's a very important player to us, so we'd like to get him up and going.
Jesse Motlop as well. He's missed a lot of footy. It must be nice to have him back fit and available again.
Asking about Jesse Motlop. Can you hear those questions? It sounds loud enough on my end. Can you hear them?
Yeah, he's certainly fit and available. I think we'd probably like a little bit more from Jess, but at the same time, he's been able to sort of show really good signs about where we see him. Obviously he's a guy that's got great promise for us and great talent, and he'll make his way back into the team. He won't play this week within the team, but he's certainly playing some better football. And the advantage we've got right now is that there's a challenge for positions, and that's what we want. And form plays a really huge part. Not only just that, but also so do our roles and what roles we're asking players to play. And obviously 2 important considerations coming into this game.
I love that. Just quietly, they want a little bit more from Jesse Motlop. I feel like even as early as last year, he would have been straight in.
TDK and Mark Pitnet, is it a philosophical debate for you as to whether you can afford to bring 2 rucks in, or where do you sit on it? Are you settled yet at this point of the year?
He's asking about the TDK Mark Pitnet debate. Are you settled, or is it up in the air?
Well, I think, again, going back to that form discussion, there's a couple of things for us. Is that the squad mentality that we have has been.
They got it fixed. Can you believe we're $1 billion industry and they can't even get the video right in a press conference? Anyway,
been something that we've spoken about for quite a period of time, and I think our players really embrace that part of it and challenging each other to get better, and that's what we love about it. And but obviously with Tom, he's in great form, so he's making his statement through the way that he's playing, and it's been a pretty powerful statement, and obviously hoping that form continues.
Is he surprised even you with how well he's performing at the moment? It seems like he's really well and truly arrived now.
Yeah, look, I mean,
he's asking if he surprised him with how Tom's performing.
It's I always temper it as a coach to sort of say, we're operating with a short window, and but what we've loved is his continued progression as a player, and he's really valuing the sort of little things in his game. And I've spoken about his training and where he's taking his training. It's gone to another level. Maybe that's given him the confidence to be able to go out there and play 120 minutes of football. And we'll know we know we're going to have to give him a chop out at different stages, but certainly at this point in time, he's in really good form.
How do you prepare for Richmond? Which Richmond do you expect to come? When they're good, they're good. When they're bad, they're bad.
Yeah,
Which Richmond do you expect to show up on Sunday? What kind of a question's that?
are their best. We talk about effort and intensity. They're a very proud group, and they've got a lot of premiership players in there that certainly know how to get the job done. So I'd like to think that we sort of look at every single team, no matter where they are, and be able to play the same way. So, I've spoken about standards within this group and the standards that we expect, and we've put a lot of emphasis on our pressure, and that's not something you've heard just once, I'm sure, from us. That's something that we need to make sure we build the foundations of our game off, and we expect the same no matter who we play.
They gave you a big push early in the season. Yeah, can you just talk us a bit about that rivalry, Carlton Richmond? It's nice bubbling along.
Yeah, well, it was interesting because when I first got appointed, whatever it was 3 years ago, the only game that I needed to win was round one, and we did that, and then we'll flag favourites round two. So it changes quickly here. So that's what I did learn very early in my first 2 or 3 games, but and that also speaks to somewhat the history and how it's been built up over such a long period of time for decades, really. But in the most recent of times, Richmond have done a number on us a number of times, and they've always been really close games. And I think what's special about rivalry games is it doesn't matter where you are. You'll get the best version of whatever that is. And we expect to get another, hopefully, 80,000 people that come to the game for a Sunday afternoon game. So, we're really looking forward to it.
How much improvement do you think is left in the squad? What capacity are you playing at the moment, do you think?
He's asking, what capacity do you think the squad's playing at, and how much more improvement do you think there is?
I think we've got a lot of parts to our game on the weekend that were a much more balanced version for us. I'd like to think our improvement comes is that we can consistently replicate that. But that's also could be somewhat unrealistic in some ways. But that's our goal. We want to make sure that we're consistent in what we do. And what I do know is that will transfer at the right time of the year when we get there. But for us at the moment, it's just doubling down on all the right habits and behaviours that we need to be able to play the game style, or the game style that we want to play.
Can I ask you just a couple of bigger picture ones?
Sure.
Obviously, the time of Port Adelaide, do you feel a fair bit of sympathy? And yourself last year, you went through a fair bit of pressure externally. Do you feel some sympathy for what Ken Hinkley's going through at the moment? It's pretty significant with his own crowd at one stage booing him last week. Some sections of the crowd booing him when he came on the screen. It's pretty ugly over there at the moment, it seems.
So asking about whether he feels sympathy for what Ken Hinkley's going through and sort of relating it to the pressure he was facing last year.
No, I just think it's a nature of our industry, and obviously us as coaches, we sort of accept that there's an element of pressure within the position and the intensity that comes with that. And particularly Ken has been around a long period of time. What I've also learned is that it's very important to have patience and be calm and let the leaders work through it. And we were really lucky. We had some real patience with our leadership, and the environment was really sound, and we were able to bounce really quickly. And there's such a long time of the season to go. We've got nine games to go before we even consider what the pointy end looks like. And everyone's still trying to jostle for that position, and no one needs to lower their guard. And I'm sure whether that's Port or whether that's us, that's the approach that they'll take.
Just in terms of the draft and the rules that the AFL may or may not be bringing in this year, the AFL put up with clubs in groups of 6 in recent weeks. Are you any clearer as to what the roadmap is for this season?
No.
Talking about the roadmap for draft picks, father sons, etc.
Oh well, I mean we're probably like most others awaiting what that response will be. We're led to believe, obviously, the commission has to meet before any decisions are made, and that's been kicked down the road another couple of months. So I think that sort of suggests that our timing that's off quite a fair bit. But that process has been made, the conversation's been had. I guess it's now up to the AFL to be able to go away and consider all those factors, and then implement what they think's right.
Would you like them to make a call ASAP? Obviously, it affects you. You've got the Camp-Rowley twins potentially on the radar.
Yeah, possibly like last year, but we'll roll with it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a bit crazy to you that they're still considering changes for the end of this season, considering we're 2/3 of the way through the...
Yeah, I think so. But I don't want to labour on it either. I think as a club, we certainly stated our position strong enough, and we're fortunate enough to have the year, and it's been listened to, and that's all we get the opportunity to be able to do. And then it's over the AFL to be able to make calls off the back of it. So There's not a hell of a lot we get to control out of the back of this now. We stated what we needed to, we presented where we needed to go, and I guess now it's up to the AFL to be able to consider all that.
What do you make of the Dangerfield suspension, and then was overturned?
It's asking him what he made of the Dangerfield suspension.
You okay with that?
Yeah, I don't know where I sit on. All I say is that we're thankful that Sam.
Frankie, spot on. They're just baiting him for a soundbite just then.
He was okay and wasn't concussed, and
You can just see it. Boss wanted answer last year.
we got to be able to get him for the rest of the game. We get him for this week, so I think that's what we have the process for. Though at the same time, we've got a fairly stringent process there. There's MRO has their own view, and then obviously the tribunal has their own view as well, and you have to state your case. So that's the process every club's entitled to run, and they're obviously going to play that game as hard as they possibly can to get their players out there fit and available and playing. So, but yeah, it's probably a little bit different than what we expected, but at the same time, it's the process is there to be followed through on, and in this instance, Geelong are able to follow that through, and they've got a player available. We're just thankful that we've got a player available as well.
I assume you weren't thrilled with the narrative that Walsh might have thrown his head forward.
No, I just thought that questioned the integrity of Sam Walsh, and that was just a ridiculous comment.
Fuck yeah. He's talking about BT's comment. Amazing. I'm going to play that again. Oh, I love it when he goes in.
We're just thankful that we've got a player available as well.
I assume you weren't thrilled with the narrative that Walsh might have thrown his head forward.
No, I just thought that questioned the integrity of Sam Walsh, and that was just a ridiculous comment to make. So no, I'd be happy enough to have that argument with anyone standing in front of me.
Oh, that's sick. That's great.
Ridiculous comment to make. So no, I'd be happy enough to have that argument with anyone standing in front of me.
Mate.
Zach Williams set to play his 150th game this Sunday. What can you say about him and the journey he's been on to reach that milestone?
Yeah, Zachy.
That is Rose. That's Rose's voice.
You have struck up a great relationship with him over the last 2 or 3 years, and sort of hearing where he's been at in his football journey. And, he's had a bit of a tough run at it the last 2 or 3 years. And, so he hasn't been able to get on the park as much as what he was like. But as we've seen this year, he brings so much energy to our group. He's had a real role change for us in the last couple of weeks that hopefully he can nail down, towards the back end of the year. But brings plenty of life for us, plenty of energy. And, obviously he's looking to, be able to just take these opportunities, and extremely grateful for what he's got in front of him. And, we love having him out there.
And a bit of a different journey, but Blake Acres, that is third club now, signed on for a couple more years. What kind of impact has he made on the group?
Talking about now Blake Acres' impact at the club after his contract extension.
Yeah, he's been great, Blake. I mean, he's probably really, his defensive integrity and the role we need him to be able to play. He's probably the guy that, or one of the guys that, just gets his job done every single week. And, we had a bit of a joke during the week about, there's kids now standing on the goal line protecting goals because of Blake Acres. So he tends to fingertip a few things. So, but it's great to see his impact that he's been able to have on us as a group, and the role he plays is really crucial, and the energy he brings is really important to us.
Okay. Let's discuss. There's a lot to get through there. What did you make of the presser? What were the things that stood out to you there? Please let me know in the comments. I'm just trying to get up. Oh, great. I'll tell you what, Up the Baggers is just so good for us. What's a question I'd ask? I'll tell you a question I'd love to ask. And look, all in good time, inshallah, but I would love to interview Vossi. And I'd love to dive into his process of how he manages, 45 odd players, different personalities, different backgrounds, and how he learns how to push their buttons at certain times, because everyone's motivated by different things. I'd love to know the process of how he got to know the boys and how he empowers them, knowing what their individual needs are based on their fears and their motivations. So a bit more philosophical, but that's something I would definitely ask him. BT's a wanker. Yeah, I think we all would. I had Jake from Saints TV on Footy Abroad about a month ago try and tell me that Always was trying to intentionally hurt himself. I lost my marbles. I'm not copping it. Ever. Bossy is a savage. Professional and calm. He's not going to let this group get ahead of themselves. That is the most important thing. That is the most important thing, I believe, because going into the game, form, statistical averages, all of that, we're the better side on paper. But this game is weird. If you are 5% off and you come in cocky, you lose and teams can beat you. So that is going to be a big challenge. Aiden, I noticed he said all our improvement that we need to get done will come at the right time of the season. Yes, timing. Very good spot there. What else did you notice, guys? You want to interview Cripps and ask him what motivated him to stay after seeing WA clubs being successful during the patch when we were shit. Yeah, good call. One of the keys to being a good coach, I reckon, Tez, gives a glimpse with how much he values connection. Yeah. And this is the thing. It takes time. Trust takes time. You got to get to know. And this is the thing when we were talking last year, like sack him, get another coach in. This game, you have, 18 on the field at one point in time with 4 on the bench, So like you've got 40 odd on the list. So you need to build relationships with them. I think it's a balance between that and being a good coach and being able to handle the pressure. But anyway, everyone's talking about the games against top 4, top 8 teams, but this game is the true test of the group's maturity. Good call. That's not a danger game at all. It's not a danger game at all. Any game is a danger game every week. Robbie Varley, you're watching from London. I can absolutely shout out your daughter. Hey, Sienna. Thanks for tuning into the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. I hope you're enjoying it, and go Blues. Guys, I want to show you a little something. So this is Up the Baggers does it again. So these are our contracts and the ones that we've locked in. If you've just joined us, we got the news that Elijah Hollins has signed a contract. Looks like it's going to be, to the end of 2026. So that would be a 2-year contract for him, which is awesome. So let's have a look. 2025, the following players up the top here are contracted until the end of 2025. Cherasad, Chincotta, Wilson, Kemp, Hewitt, Lemmy, Silvani, Wiedering, Motlop, Kennedy, McGovern, Newman, Fantasia, Monahan, Doherty, DeConing. 2026, Moya, Durden, both Hollands boys, O'Keefe, Binns, Boyd, Cowan, Fogarty, Young, Walsh, and Zach Williams. 2027, we've got Akers, Pitternet, Cottrell, and Cripps. Akers obviously just signed his contract extension. And then 2029, Kerno, 2030, Mackay. This is good. This is also why this year and next year are 2 of the most crucial years for us, because a lot of the list is pretty much sewn up. I think after seeing this, one of the most important contracts now that is not here is Matt Owies. We got to lock Matt Owies away. We also need to lock in. Where's Cowan? Cowan is contracted until the end of 26. Okay. But I think I'd want to see Matt Owies, an update on him as soon as possible. I think he's just breaking through. Pommy. Hello, mate. Oi, oi. Savaloy. Feel free to jump in if you like, mate. Interesting. So that's that. Now, I want to play some sort of a game. We're going to do the numbers game. I think. Oof. Currently in Coles car park doing shopping because my life is a whirlwind of excitement. Okay, great. Actually, before we get on to something else in a game, who else are you looking at if we get that list up again? I'm going to get that contract list up again. Who else do you think is like a critical signature? This is a lot of the list here, like a good chunk of it. Which other names do you think we've got to lock away? I think always is important. Well, Sauce is here. Silvani's here. End of next year. Where's Walsh? Where is Walsh? Am I losing my mind? I feel like Walsh. He's not out of contract this year. I feel like Walsh should be on this list. 2026. Well, sorry, in front of my eyes. So Chera, probably not going to get much conversation done, seeing as he's missed a big chunk. De Koning is all of a sudden a massive one. Would love to get that signature done before this year ends. Saad, you definitely want to be locking him away. Trying to think for now, who's out of contract? Carlton playing list. Tract 2024. Okay. Oh, perfect. So this is the Carlton. I believe this is correct. We can correct it ourselves if we see anything that needs fixing. This is the Carlton players out of contract this year. So, I mean, Elijah Hollands, we're going to eliminate that. We know that already. That broke today. We don't have an update on Sam Durden, Matt Owies, Matt Carroll, Jack Martin, Jack Carroll, Domaquay, Cunningham. Well, Cunningham and Marchbank are out of contract at the end of this year. Yep, Damien. Do I think Martin gets re-signed? Oh. I think if he does, it would be at a pretty discounted rate. And that would, I mean, I would just guess that would be the conversation going on. He has just, unfortunately for him, not been able to prove that his body can withstand the rigors of a football season. And he is just not in a position yet to prove that he can be available for 20 plus games. And I think it impacts his contract. I mean, you know, they do get match payments players, so you do have your base. I'd love Jack to stay. I love Jack Martin. I want nothing more than Jack Martin to get his body right and to be playing 15, 16 plus games every year. It's just one of those ones. We haven't been able to figure it out. So the question is, would he stay for a little less? Would he go elsewhere to a lesser club, but maybe a little bit more security? I don't know. I'd like to think he is well and truly settled here at Carlton. There are rumors that WA teams are interested. I hope he stays and I hope he figures it out. You know, we've got a bit of a run to go on, a couple of years. So Marchbank's the other one. It's just with Marchbank, Martin and Cunningham. It's just three guys. I mean, Marchie is just, I mean, they're all unlucky in their own way. Cunners, I don't know, 9 years of service. I'm not sure. Dom's an interesting one because I just don't know where he's at. I don't know what the development story is. Jack Carroll still got plenty. I've still got a little bit of time, I would have thought. Matt Carroll, very young. This is the big one. Right here, Matt Owies. Got to take into account as well. We're going to get the Camprielli boys. So those, you got to draft 3. You have to take 3 picks in a draft. So that means 3 players have to go. But we'll see. It's going to be a very interesting couple of months. More importantly, let's get back to our teams. Let's see how they were named. Teams will drop in about half an hour. So we're going to look at the extended teams as they were announced. I want to get some of your thoughts. After last night, we also have umpires. We got Nathan Toner again from last week. Chris Donlan, John Howarth, and Nicholas McInnes. Do you think it's just as simple as Chera in, Durden out, which I think it will be? Vossi just said that Chera will play, which is awesome. In terms of the bench makeup, who do you think will be the sub? Jay, mate, I'm bloody fantastic. What's the difference between restricted free agent and non-free agent? Heard Bombers are looking at Martin. Well, Martin would be an unrestricted free agent. So up until your, I hope I get this right, 7th or 8th year of service at a club, you are a restricted free agent. After that, you become an unrestricted free agent after you do your time. When you are an unrestricted free agent, another team is able to sign you, or you are able to sign an offer to another club. And, have I got this right? And your club must match the offer. If Pommy's watching and I've butchered that, he's going to kill me. An unrestricted free agent is permitted to automatically move a club of their choice. A restricted free agent is a player who has served 8 or more years with one club, is out of contract, and he's in the top 25% of wage earners at their club. I did butcher it. I'm sorry. So basically, we've got 3 unrestricted free agents potentially at the end of this year, and that's Sam Durden, Dave Cunningham, and Caleb Marchbank. Restricted free agent is a player who has served 8 or more years with one club. That's right. Must be one club. Thanks, mate. Mate, if I got that any more wrong, we literally did a video on it last week. If I got that wrong, I would have had a phone call. All right. Kemp, Kennedy, Chincotta, Fantasia, and Hewitt is where we landed on last night. After watching Vossi's Bevtone, hey, thank you so much for gifting 5 Blue Abroad memberships. If you are one of the 5, please give a big thank you. Clear as mud. Oh, thanks. Fantasia adds leg speed, which is what we need. For life purposes, just think restricted player leaves, we get a bonus pick from the AFL, no trade. Unrestricted, a free agent in normal football. True. Sub predictions, guys. Who's it going to be? Kennedy or Hewitt? Fantasia. I think if Chera's coming in, it will be Kennedy or Hewitt. I agree. Fantasia. Reckon Vosco's banter and it's Hewitt sub. I think it should be Fantasia, but my gut says Hewitt. Yeah. I'd say Fantasia, but don't be surprised if it's Hewitt. Have a feeling Voss wants to get a full game into Fantasia. Yeah, I think so too. All right. 20 minutes until we find out the team. Let's play a little game. Firstly, let's do this. Let's do a little warple. Got to guess the player. Take a look. What? Is that Jesse Motlop? Is anyone getting Jesse Motlop from that? Jai Simpkin? Durden, maybe. I'm going to try Jesse Motlop. That is so Jesse Motlop. That's good. That's very good. It was this part of his hair that got me, and this part of his shoulder. But it was definitely here. That's what kind of got me. There you go. All right. Do we like this as a grid? We can do this. I think we can do this. Yesterday's was easy. I didn't do yesterday's. I only really do these when I'm on stream. I don't really do this in my spare time. I think it's a great game though. Footy grid or numbers game? Let me know. What was the other one we did as well? The goals. Grid? Let's do the grid and then we can do numbers. Top right corner, numbers. Wait, Newman, hang on. Let's start here. 30 disposals in a final and 100 plus games in his career. Wow. Grid ISO 2023. No, it's not. Grid is great. 30 disposals in a final. Nick Newman, did he have 30 in a final? Walsh, good call. Nick Newman. All right. Oh, we have unlimited guesses, so it won't matter. Nick Newman. I don't think he had. He did. That's huge. That's a great pick. Who did that? Damien. Zonked Steel. Very good. Oh, you said top right corner. Okay. All right. So let's go 30 disposals in a final and also wore a double-digit Guernsey. You know what? Did Heath Scotland ever have 30 disposals in a final? I think that might be one. Tui Cripps? No. Oh, hang on. You know what? Cripps is not a bad shout. Not very many people would remember that he wore the 16. Oh, okay. No, that's wrong. You're right. This is wrong because he definitely wore 16 in his first year. Kuda, Josh Bootsma, Craig Bradley, Carazzo. Mate. Well, our players especially a lot. Especially at the start of the year when I do like the player previews and the new photos come out. Mate, I'm onto it. Like, what is this? We're not amateurs here, we're professionals. He never played a final. Or he never had 30 disposals in a final. That might be it. That's probably what it was. So we need someone that's had 30 disposals in a final and wore a double-digit Guernsey. Daniel Bradshaw, Rod Ashman, Fraser Brown, Kuda. Kuda would have had 30 disposals in a final. There you go. That's mature. That's an older version of Kuda. Okay, 30 disposals in a final and had 2,500 or more kicks in his career. Simo? Camporeale? No, you don't have to have worn the Guernsey in the final. You just have to have had 30 disposals in a final. Stephen Silvani? Did he have 30 plus possessions in a Craig Bradley? Yeah, that's. But we want random names. Let's see. Okay, 1% we'll take. Geelong Cats, someone who played for the Geelong Cats at least one game and has played 100 or more games in his career. Has Lockie Fogarty played his 100th yet? We want random. Andrew McKay? Diesel. Jordan. Riccardi. Oh, it's not a bad shout. Paul Couch? Hey, who was that? Who was that? Wayne. Mate, that's what I'm talking about. Contribution. Let's keep this as like under 5 would be ideal. All right. Played for Geelong at least one game and wore a double-digit Guernsey. This is Darcy Lang. Yes. All right. Played for Geelong and has had 2,500 or more kicks in their career. I don't know. Tui. Andrew Mackey. What about Corey Enright? It's a bit popular. I went too early. All right, back to Carlton. Someone who played at least one game for Carlton and played 100 plus games in their career. So I want like random, very random names. Josh Kennedy from West Coast. Mitch Robinson. Who's a player that people will forget played for Carlton and went to another team? David Clark? Corey McKernan? I don't know who that is. Okay, which one? Fisher, Teague. Oh, David Teague, not a bad shout. Michael Mansfield. Oh, that is the one. He played 100 games? Yeah, surely. Faz. Brilliant. Love your work. 15 minutes. Yeah. Teams are coming out in 15. All right. A Carlton player and wore a double-digit Guernsey. Well, this is maybe where you go Crips. Do you risk it for the biscuit? Because I think most people would forget that he wore 16. What about who played like one game for us? DeLuca, nearly. What? Josh DeLuca, maybe? Yeah, this is the one. 0.29. All right. A Carlton player who had 2,500 or more kicks in their career. If we can keep this under 10, it's a great score. Gibbs definitely had 2,500 kicks. Houlihan, it's not bad. Andrew McKay, that's also not bad. It's not Andrew McKay. Duel? Oh, yeah, I guess. Nah, it's popular. All right. All right, there you go. All right, so basically, we've got 30 seconds to guess the player who wears this number. I think this is Lath. Yeah. So you got to be like quick in the chat. The kid. It's the kid. Oh my God. Not Colby. Dersma? What? No, not Wardlaw. He's 6. Damn it. It was Zane Dersma. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. All right. Help? Nah. Is it? Nah, it's not Barras. Come on. Our best streak is 8. Let's go. Lock in. Josh Ward. Okay. We'll go again. I've got no idea on this one. Hey, Ashley, thanks for purchasing a Blue Abroad stubby holder. Hill? Okay, I got distracted there. All right, last chance. Last chance. I'm locking in here. Number 1, that's Chase Jones. That is Dyson Heppel. Brett, I'm struggling here. I reckon this is Link. That's Tom Hawkins. All right, got to beat 8. That's Dacos. Okay. All right, lock in here. Didn't we just have him? That's Lath. No, it's not. Whatever. I'm done with that. Had it so easy as well. We've got 9 minutes. What was the name of the game with the goal kicking? AFL goal kickers. What was the name of that game we used to play? Do you remember? It was like higher or lower. What was it called? Oh, got it. This is fun. Okay, who kicked more goals? Cameron Ling or Clive Waterhouse? Clive. Yeah. Dick Lee or Clive Waterhouse? Usually when they're older like this, it's them. Yep. Okay, that's a big one. Nigel Lappin. Don't think he would have kicked more than 700 goals. David King or Nigel Lappin? Surely Kingy. No, really? All right. I'm done playing games. Let's get back to the footy. Ashley, I'm about to print out your tag. Thank you for your pin. Got 7 minutes until teams pop. What happens on a Friday? What do they do on a Friday? Does 7 News do this as well? I don't really remember how many games we've had. Against Essendon, what happened? Jason, we've already done it. We just played it. It's Jesse Motlop. News 6 p.m. Yeah, but the teams, this will just be AFL app. Also, there won't be a Channel 7 update tonight for the teams. It'll just be us on Twitter or online. Okay. Interesting. All right, Ashley. Got your pin. I've got your envelope here. Just a reminder, guys, any orders to the BA shop until the end of July, get a free BA pin. If you buy a pin, you get a second one free. So if you only want a pin, put a second one in there. But I'll also put a pin in there, any orders that you make from the new BA shop. So thank you very much, Ashley. That is on the way. Should do my all Australian predictions. Nah, not yet. AFL up usually refreshes right on 5 p.m. Yeah. I don't think this is going to be a big surprise to all of us. There's no surprise with the team. Cherry in, Durden out. True. We kind of know what's going to happen. Who would win in a fight, Moose or Andy? Who would win in a fight, Moose or Andy? I don't know. Moose is a big boy. But Andy's got that dog in him, you know. I don't know. If I was a betting man, I reckon I haven't met Mus enough to know what's inside the eyes. Yeah, I don't know. I think Andy, but hopefully it never comes to that. Pommy did his mid All Australian mid-season one, mate. Should go watch it. I did see that. He sent it through to me. Do I think Pendles will play his 400th against us? Absolutely, I do. No question about it. And we're going to spoil the party like we always do. Why does vintage Carlton merch cost more than any other club? Well, mate, look at it. That's why. It's called, you know what it is? Honestly, it's called brand. That's what it is. It's called strong brand. Is it still fun? Does it feel like work? It's a good question. No, it is still fun. It's just about reminding yourself to be grateful. I think humans in general, we can get a little ungrateful at times. But yeah, it's definitely still fun. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't do it. That's the truth. But I do think having a balance of Carlton stuff and non-Carlton stuff is a lot more important now than what it used to be. Like back, a couple of years ago, it was just this, full focus, just to make sure it would work. Whereas now I feel like there's some systems and processes in place and things like that. So now it's important to get a better balance and get some creative inspiration from outside of footy. So I feel that now more than ever. But mate, I'm loving it. I think Andy. Definitely Andy. Mus. I don't know. Mus is a big boy. Mus would win in a modelling walk-off. Yeah, Mus is a big boy. Jesse, looking forward to coming across for the game this weekend. Hopefully cross paths. Mate, I'll be there. President's Club function. I'll be there. I'll be there with my sister. So it'll be awesome. I'd love to see who I think should be in the All-Australian. Maybe I'll put something together. I don't know. All right. 2 minutes. We're not far away. Elijah re-signed. He did. He absolutely did. Such a great story. It's a good one out there for the younger generation, just to show you can make, you make mistakes, but it's not about the mistakes you make. It's about how you actually put your head down and get back to work and redeem yourself. And I think that's just such a great story for him and the club to have that type of person in the club. And he's obviously doing so much on the inside that they love him enough to do it now. He's obviously impressed a lot in a short amount of time. Hey, Terry, we're going to repeat what we did in 95, 16 straight. Did we win 16 straight in the lead up to... Did we win 16 straight in the lead up to the 16th premiership? Is that how it played out? When we win the flag, will you be presenting a documentary from 2020? Whenever we win one, your passion still be there as your passion is now. I feel like mine won't be there. I think our passion will never be as, deep as what it is. And I think this for all sports teams. I don't think you're ever as hungry as what you are before you win your first one. I think our passion will always be there, no doubt. But obviously, for us who have not seen the premiership at all, we're never going to feel, it's never going to feel as special as what it does before the first one. That's my take. But I don't think we'll lose passion for the club. All right, it's official. Chair is in. It's his first game since round 9. That's crazy. Blake, yep. Named in the extended squad last night. Marchbank, Motlop, Pitto have been named as emergencies. There it is right there. That to me looks like Kennedy would be the sub. If we're going to go on the final name. Yes, this is an important little storyline as well. We didn't rush. We're not rushing Jesse Motlop. We're not rushing back Pitto. We didn't rush back Sard. Really important. It's all about timing. And to be fair, I do think Chera, man, look at this midfield, mate. Are you kidding me? Have a look at it. Look at that. 3. Oh, mate. I do think Chera's going to need a couple of games to get some touch. As in, I'm sure he's fit and firing at training, but can't help but feel that he might need a couple of games just to get up with the full speed of the game, become a one-touch player, or he just comes in from the outset because he's that good. It's alphabetical. It is alphabetical. Deb, you are right. It definitely is. Okay. Imagine if Chera pulls another. Inshallah. No. We're not putting this out there, Aiden. What are you talking about? Close to the best 22. Yeah. It's really hard to see how Cottrell, Martin, and Motlop are going to get into this team. It seriously is. Kennedy is one of the best 5. He was one of the best 5. Can't see it being Kemp. Can't see it being Cincotta. I think it's one of these 3. The real headaches arise when Martin and Cottrell are available. Indeed. Yeah. Cottrell and Martin will be fighting for the same spot. Feel like this is Martin's spot. But all this, but I just think if Lockie Fogarty is available, he has to be in the side. We've seen it. We have such a good record with him. Orazio potentially. But now that Chera is in and Orazio is still in, it's kind of telling me that his role is looked at in a really high regard. Cincotta could be the sub. There's no one to tag. It's a long shot that he would be sub. I agree. Cots will be fighting for Raz's spot. I think that is right. Yeah, I think that is right. Dusty is playing. Let's have a look at what's happened here. Carlton, Richmond. Okay, so for the Tigers, Lynch out, Cumberland omitted, Thompson Dow omitted. They bring back Hopper, Jacob Blight, and Sam Banks. Okay. Solid. They're going to have a solid midfield. Dusty's playing. Yep. So let's ask the Cincotta question. Who does he go to? I wouldn't mind seeing him go to Daniel Rioli. Personally, I think Daniel Rioli's having a quietly good season. Flosstone's been a little out of form, found some form last week. But I think Daniel Rioli would be the one that you put Cincotta on, or maybe Liam Baker because he's been in form. Taranto, for me personally, I just don't think he damages you as much with ball in hand. I don't find him to be he's a great player, but I don't think he has that carve you up attribute that some of the other great midfielders have. He's very much an accumulator. He's a great player when it comes to territory. Yeah, but I'm a fan of his. I'm not as concerned about him having 28 to 30. Like if Shea Bolton, for example, had 30, I'd be very concerned. Cowan on Shea Bolton, that'd be great. Be a great matchup. Bolton or Hopper. Reckon Cincotta plays forward, no tagging role, at least to begin with. Could. Keeping Hopper quiet fast will be important. True. This is interesting. 4 consecutive games with 1 or less changes. You do love to see that. Yeah. Cincotta to Baker. I don't mind it. Baker's having a great year. Bolt is the other one. He played very well against us in round 1. Where have they named him? They've named him full back. Surely not. We're going to have Nathan Broad, Tom Brown. Yeah, wow. Nathan Broad on Charlie. When Martin Cottrell are available, who are you dropping? Fantasia, Cincotta? I think that's how I see it, to be honest. I don't know about Cottrell. I doubt Cottrell will come straight back in. Man, I doubt. I can't drop anyone at the moment. Maybe Fantasia, maybe. But he's an easy target. All right. Guys, let's wrap it up. Final predictions. I think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to win this game by 38 points. Yep, 37, 38 points. $47, $48. Has to be 8 plus or minus. Goals. Blues by 15 goals. Blues by 29, 80. We lose the first quarter, then we win by 37. Blues kick 25 plus goals, according to David King. Kingy. 87, 37, 43, a thrashing. Think if it rains, 36. If it doesn't, 58, 60, 65. Lucinda, this is the big guess here. Blues in control all the way through by 50s. If close, due to weather, 36, 68. Blues to have a 10-goal quarter somewhere. Blues by 52. Did what we did last year after the bye. 80 plus. Oh, 80 plus. Gotcha. 45, 50 plus point wins for a month. Now that would be something. Yeah, great call. 112, 56. Watch this come back and bite us and we win by 3 points. You know what? Maybe. Just win. Just keep winning. We're in a really solid position. Let's just get a final ladder check before we wrap up as well. This is our position on the ladder. So you've got, it's such a clearer picture now that everyone's played the same games, but Sydney are playing Freo at the SCG. So right now we're 2 points clear of second spot. The Bombers have Geelong. Tough. Very tough match. The Pies have the Gold Coast Suns away. They could win this game and we would still be second if we were to lose the game. So, our percentage is solid. What's a good percentage? I think I asked this recently. I think what's the percentage that you're actually after? For me, I'd rather just have wins. But I mean, I understand. Actually, I don't really understand the obsession with percentage. I guess everything matters when you're trying to finish towards the top. We've got the fourth most percentage in the league. I feel like you want to have it at 120 minimum. But if you're winning games the way we are, then percentage won't matter because we're already points ahead of these other teams. Yeah, 100%, Damien. Like we win this week. If we win this week and the Bombers lose and the Pies somehow lose, like there's just a big gap. Has a lot of ramifications. Anything over 115, 20 is super solid. We just need to keep improving our points against. Yeah, for sure. A strong percentage is a great indicator of how good a team really is. Okay. So does that mean Adelaide are a bit better than... Well, they should be better than 15th, to be fair. After missing finals because of 0.1%. Well, I would argue we didn't miss finals because of percentage. I would argue we missed finals in 2022 because we dropped games that we shouldn't have dropped. I think it was the games that we didn't show up for, and that was the issue. Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval, even Brisbane away that year. That is what I think cost us. I know that at the end there was 0.1% left, but I think there were games in that season that truly cost us. And if you're relying on the final game of the season to get into the 8 on percentage, then you just probably shouldn't even be there anyway. Crom have inflated percentage because they smashed West Coast. True, we haven't played West Coast yet. I took our history versus the Tigers into account and just refused to underestimate, but I do think we dominate come what may. In fact, percentage is one of the most important. Okay. Please elaborate. Why is percentage one of the most important indicators? We would smash 2022 Carlton. In a fair draw, I would agree, but as we know, the draw can affect percentage. We played the Eagles twice last year with big wins. The Bombers have the Eagles twice this year. Good point. If we didn't lose to the Saints, Adelaide, Richmond, we would have played under a 5s side against Collingwood. Oh well, true. 2022 was the most gut-wrenching experience. Brisbane and Doggies have high percentage. True. They're not in the 8, but they do have a high percentage. Bugs Bell, it shows... So percentage shows consistency. I mean, okay. I mean, I would argue some of these teams here in the bottom 8 have been inconsistent. I don't know. I don't know if it's a catch-all principle that. It definitely matters. I just don't know if... I'd like to rely on the wins and the points. Maybe also I'm going to learn a lesson about top 4 in the coming years and why percentage is important, because the race to the 8 was tight, and now the race up here, like the margins get finer as you go further and further up the ladder. So, you might be onto something there. We all have the stats we like. Percentages is definitely a number I use to judge teams. Fair. Percentage tells you where you are more than points? Really? I don't know. How? How? If you're playing West Coast and you're beating them by 10 plus goals, I don't know. I feel like you play for points. You play to win. Winning trumps everything. Samantha Harris said, yes, we've arrived. It's seeing if we can stay. That's the next big test. We would have been damaging in the finals in 2022. I do reckon we would have probably gotten further than what we did last year. In 2022, I think we were still immature. What does Essendon's percentage tell us? I actually don't think they're going to fall out of the 8 personally, but it's an interesting debate. Look at Brisbane Lions percentage. Do I think they're the second best team in the comp? No, I don't. I do think they are still very much in the hunt for top 4. In fact, I think they will finish in the top 4 eventually. Points for and against are an indication of how good a side you are. So like points for, we are second in the league for points for. We're not going very well for points against. We've got to catch up. As a Saints fan, I didn't think you were ready for making a granny yet, but this year, now you would learn some. Well, as far as points against, how good your defense is, a win might be because of a 1-point win because of shit umpiring decision. I just think an argument to suggest that percentage is a greater indicator than points. Maybe the argument of, okay, you play West Coast twice in a year, you spank them twice. Although I don't think West Coast are that side as much anymore. Just feel like points matter more than percentage. The last 18 premiers have been top 6 in points for and against. Collingwood did have an average percentage last year. That's a good point. I think it's a crazy race to September, and then everything just resets. You've got to be in the top 4, and you've just got to have the right amount of health to the right amount of players once the final series starts. I don't think percentage is going to matter when we're talking about playing in the final series when we come to September, if we're there. I just, like, are we going to use percentage as an argument if we come up against someone in, let's just say we play in a qualifying final against Collingwood? Are we going to sit here in our preview and say, based on our percentage this year, we are more or less likely to be a shot for this game? I just don't think that that's what the conversation is going to be at that time. Points get you higher, percentage gets you further. Okay. Percentage is an indicator of your form, I think you said earlier. I can understand that. Points matter, but that doesn't show how much better or worse you are compared to teams on the same points. No, because then you look at percentage. But that's, I think, my point. My point is you start with points. Points matter first, and then secondary is percentage. Percentage only matters for teams on level on wins or losses. We want to be a side that wins enough games. That means little. Percentage matters when it comes to matchups. If we played Brisbane in Melbourne, we win that game. In finals, all teams have a good percentage, most likely, unless you're Essendon. Yeah. Get out of that. All right, Bev Tone. Good evening to you, mate. Last question. I mean, I was wrapping up like 20 minutes ago. Last question. Who wins tonight? That's what I want to know. And why don't we have Thursday night footy? Weird. Bring it back. But yeah, who wins tonight? Lions? D's in an upset. Okay. Brisbane could be ugly. Brisbane. 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 Yeah, wow. It's all Brisbane. With a couple of D's in there. Lions have a good Shabbos. True. Shabbat Shalom. Thursday night footy should be fit to say clubs. All right. Brisbane. Guys, that'll do it. Chair is in for Durden. Thank you for being here. Don't forget, any orders to the brand spanking new BA shop between now and the end of July will get you a free pin as well. So thanks so much. See you over the weekend. Pommy's going to be doing the watch along on Sunday, and I will be doing the fan cam. So see you then. Take it easy. Go Blues.